All right, what up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Living the Dream podcast. Today on the show, we are talking about focus. What's your focus? And this will go kind of on the goalposts, but a little bit on what your goalposts are, a little bit on baby steps, massive execution, and the small things every day. Is kind of what this will be on. So basically, we're talking about shifting your focus to the next step that you need to take right now to start moving towards your dream life. So get clear. I think to do that, you have to get clarity and you have to be present. Let me explain that a little bit. So, first, you need to be clear on your goalposts. And for me, this was financial freedom for myself and my family. I know that I'm going to do that through multifamily real estate investing. However, in trying to do multifamily real estate investing, I was making like $40,000 a year at my last job, and I was struggling to pay bills, was struggling, and my energy was struggling because I was in a job I didn't like because I didn't have the necessary cash flow. So I wasn't putting the energy and effort towards multifamily like I knew I could. And multifamily is also going to be more of a place where I put my capital than a this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm passionate about. I love making deals happen. I love finding deals and making that happen, but I love helping people find deals and make that happen more than I love doing it myself. Like the adrenaline rush I get from doing it myself is good and all, but the adrenaline rush I get from helping other people do it when they think they couldn't, oh my gosh, that's the best thing ever. So, I'd get clear on where my goalposts were. And I was clear on that. I was like, this is where I'm going, financial freedom for myself and my family. So ultimately, I can help other people get to financial freedom and, increase wealth and abundance such that the baseline is middle class America across the world. That is the goal. And so, because I'm clear on that, I was going big, fast, and hard. Like you think big, and it's like, okay, I'm going to go there now. And I think there's some things to say about that, except you need practical optimism, is what Gary Vee calls it. So you can't, um, I don't want to say you can't, but it is very difficult to, no, you can't skip steps. You have to fail a certain amount, you have to learn a certain amount before you can be successful. There are just some prerequisites for success. And I was like trying to skip steps, I will say. Like I was trying to do the big things that generated wealth and not focusing on my cash flow. When cash flow is the lifeblood of an entrepreneur. Like if you don't have cash flow, it's very hard to stay in the game. And as an entrepreneur, the longer you stay in the game, the better off you'll be. So I needed cash flow now. And my only cash flow source was from my job. And so what I need to do is shift my focus to revenue. Multifamily real estate, you close a multifamily deal, you might get a large chunk of cash kind of upfront, maybe not, depending on how you structured the deal. But a lot of the payout for a syndicator happens after they flip the deal, like 5 years later. And I was like, I can't really afford to wait 5 years to start increasing my cash flow. So I need to start increasing cash flow now. Of course, that might have been a little bit short sighted, a little bit impatient, but I still think syndication is more of a long term play after you kind of have some stable cash flow and you have the waiting power. But until you have the waiting power to kind of stick through a syndication, you really need to focus on the revenue generating activity in real estate, which for me, that's when I shifted to land wholesaling in my creative deal makers mastermind. I was like, if I can make sales for my creative deal makers mastermind, A, I love it. B, it'll increase cash flow right now. Same thing with my land wholesaling. It'll increase cash flow right now. And what I like about this is as I shifted my focus, I was clear on the goalpost, but then I need to get present with myself right now. What do I need right now? I need cash flow, but my current actions are taking me towards equity. Well, let's get cash flow. And of course, as you get equity, you can build cash flow, stuff like that. But again, cash flow is the lifeblood. And so you need cash flow. So I had to be present with myself and understand my situation right now. Clear on the goalposts, present in the moment, understanding where you're at so you can get to where you want to be. I was in a place where I needed cash flow, shifted my focus. That's where it has shown up in my life. I made that shift a couple months ago, and it was really cool because as I made the shift, cash flowing opportunities started popping up. I met with a dude who closed a deal This was insane. He bought 100 something acres of land for $600,000, put a solar farm on it, and is now generating 1.8 million per year from that $600,000 investment by putting a solar farm on the land. And I just think that's so cool. And as I receive that information and I'm focused on revenue, I'm like, that level of revenue would change my life, right? I then come into two deals where it's like, okay, you got 112 acres and you got 80 something acres, and I could put a solar farm on both of those things. And it may not be, I may not 3x my investment right off the bat. He found a killer deal, like paid 600,000, instantly started generating 1.8 million. But if I can get $5,000 an acre for the solar farm on it, and I can pay $15,000 an acre for the land, then I'm paying my debt off in 3 years. I just need a partner. I'll tell them that we'll double their money in 3 to 5 years or something like that through the solar farm. And, obviously make the risks clear and everything, but that will generate revenue for me immediately. And so I just thought that was really cool because as I shifted my focus, I started seeing more opportunities to generate revenue in the acreage for the solar farm, in my wholesaling deals. I started getting free clients for the mastermind, which will then bring me monetized clients for the mastermind. Then an opportunity came up with some church friends where they wanted to start a kayak rental business here in Austin. And obviously there are already kayak rental businesses here in Austin, but it's like all we would need to do is rent out 10 to 20 kayaks. And crazy, as I started focusing on generating revenue, I started learning about marketing and Alex Hormozy, how to make the cash that you get in 30 days more than the cost to acquire and cost to fulfill a client times two. So like if it costs $15 to acquire a client and $15 to fulfill that client, that's $30. And you multiply that by two, it's $60. You need to make the cash that you get in 30 days more than $60 from one client. If you can do that, you can scale infinitely. He started teaching me tactics on how to do that, which would immediately apply to the kayak business, which I'm applying to the mastermind business. It's just really, really, really cool stuff. And what's even cooler is, land wholesaling was a revenue focused move. The mastermind was a revenue focused move, but the kayak business is a really revenue focused move. Like even with the mastermind, there's still traction you got to get. There's still sales because it's kind of a new thing and it just takes time. With the land wholesaling, transactions just take time and marketing dollars. But with the kayaking business, it's kind of like we could go make sales right now. We just need kayaks and a place to put those kayaks that's kind of close to Lady Bird Lake. And then it's curtains. Like you literally can rent out those kayaks. And if you rent out 20 kayaks, you're low-key replacing your job. Like actually, it's kind of insane. And so that's just what I want to talk to you guys about. As you shift your focus, things will come in to your life. In fact, they were always there. You just weren't seeing them. As you shift your focus, you'll start to see them. And where do I want this to show up in my life? Again, my life essence statement, a daily focus practice of here's what I need to do. Here are the steps that will take me to the next step and realigning with my goalpost always. And how can you apply it to your life? I would say assess what you need to go to the next level and focus on that step. So it's really the be present part of this. Get super, super, super present with yourself and know where you're at, know where you want to go, and know the first baby step you need to take. And get hyper focused on that baby step and then crush it. And get hyper focused on the next baby step and then crush it. And I would say that's kind of how you can apply it to your life. And thank you guys for listening to this episode. As we always ask, go ahead and shoot this podcast to 1 to 3 people gosh dang, need to hear this message. Go ahead and give us a 5-star review on iTunes. Check out the website, workwithtimmydouglas.com. Go to the Creative Dealmakers Mastermind tab. If you have some friends that want to join that group, I would love to have them. If you want to join that group, I would love to have you. As we always say, we are making creative deals in that mastermind group that will take people towards their dream life. And we made it affordable because I thought of me 3 years ago, and I made exactly what I needed. So go ahead and check it out. Let me know. On that note, we're out.